So the darker the water, the more reflection of the sun, the warmer the water is.
Robert Grandjam navigates the waters of the Peace-Athabasca Delta easily. These are his highways. He grew up hunting and fishing here, and he's seen how the land has changed.
Yeah, in the last couple of years I noticed the wind is getting really, really strong and more often. It never used to be like that.
Today he's heading to Jackfish, about 90 minutes south of Fort Chipewyan, for the annual fish camp.
Really rough out there. Good morning.
Humpback, blister.
We have the scientists here.
So fat content is some too.
We have the land users here.
I just cut the fillet off. I don't bother the stomach.
Yeah, we needed to sample 100 from all the other locations.
And they're going to work together to assess the overall health of the fish. I was like, look all the steps I'm getting in.
Lori Cyprian is one of the organizers behind this year's event.
The people of the communities, they've been seeing this forever, right? So the scientists are starting to see it as well now, so we're trying to talk their language.
We've also been sampling for hydrocarbons in the fish themselves. And so
Data analyst Caroline Bamfield is one of the scientists working with the community. She gathers samples to send back to the lab.
we're looking at the shape and size of the fish and if they have enough fat and if they are producing enough eggs. We look at the livers to see how big they are and how much energy they're putting into the livers, and that gives us a sense as to whether the fish are stressed or whether they're subject to toxins in the environment.
Just I wonder what my dad would have said about this process.
While the camp is focused on fish, changes to the Delta are top of mind.
Thank you, sir. We have the hard truth data right here. It's not a fishing story anymore. Climate change is just one small part of the bigger picture as well, right? So we have industry upstream, we have Bennett dams. Climate change just adds to all of those effects that we've been seeing for years. The water levels are dropping significantly earlier than they're supposed to be dropping. People can't access, their traditional areas like they used to.
Complicating matters, the seasonal flooding that recharges these waterways is becoming less reliable.
They say a delta changes. We know that, but not at the rate that it's happening. Pickerel, no beer better.
Alice Rigney was born in Fort Chipewyan and spent much of her childhood at the Jackfish camp.
When you start thinking about all the other lakes in the delta, where my dad used to go hunt, and yeah, you can't get to them. One lake here we call Egg Lake. A couple years ago, I went there with my brothers. And in runners, I was able to walk pretty well across the lake, where it used to be 8 feet of water. Doesn't take long to cook.
Look at how easy she makes it.
How's it, Kayla?
She's really good, thank you.
My question is, I'm not concerned about me 50 years from now. I'm not going to be here. But I have a 9-year-old grandson. What is it going to look like for him? I got to go get more fish.
Keeping it? Yeah. Maybe Alice or something. Everybody will want it.
Morgan Voyager checks the camp's fishing nets.
There's 2 set east of here.
He worries what will be left for his children.
I did it for practice all my life. And my son here too has been doing it all his life. He's the one that actually went and set all these nets. This one here is the northern pike, the drought.
He works with the community tracking change in the water. He's seen levels drop and temperatures rise.
It has a drastic effect on the dissolved oxygen in the water. So with no oxygen, the fish can't breathe, so they either die off or they move on, right? When there's no more water, we'll have to adapt, which will be sad.
I don't think I'll ever see that in my lifetime.
You never know.
Elders and community members alike say they expect more changes to come, but they hope that events like the Jackfish Camp will continue to build bridges between scientific and Indigenous communities, better preparing both for the future impacts of climate change.
I think it's time we stopped and start thinking about things. And not for us. when we're gone, this world's still going to be here, but our children are going to be here. And they're the ones that are going to suffer the ill effects of our actions. You know, it may be too late already, but I mean, at least we should try.
Christy Kleiman-Hagas, CBC News, near Fort Chipewyan, Alberta.